Good evening. 1,000 more jobs are going at Birmingham City Council in the latest round of multi-million-pound budget cuts. The council says it has to save £840 million by 2018, £120 million of that this year alone. Unions describe the savings as a disgrace and blame the coalition government. Council leader Sir Albert Bohr said all departments will be affected, apart from children's services, where an extra £10 million has been set aside. He warned some services will go completely by 2015.
There will be job cuts, that is inevitable. You can't take out a budget of that size, 120 million, without there being consequences as far as jobs are concerned. Those jobs will come right across the spectrum of the council, with one exception. We're safeguarding children's services. There'll be no cuts at all within children's safeguarding services. Indeed, there'll be an increase in the budget. We're putting a further £9.2 million into children's services.
Well, we're horrified by 1,000 job cuts, and we hold central government responsible for that. We're going to be standing up for Birmingham. We're going to be lining up with the council, but of course that's not to say that we won't be scrutinising these proposals very closely.
In response, Local Government Minister Brandon Lewis said, "This government's carefully considered reforms have delivered a fair deal to councils, helping them achieve greater financial independence so they can deliver sensible savings while protecting frontline services, which we've backed up with £3.8 billion for crucial adult social care reform." However, there are many more ways for councils to save taxpayers' money and help tackle the deficit left inherited from the last administration. 2 women have been sentenced to a total of 24 years in jail for killing a woman after setting fire to a house in Birmingham. Nusrat Khatun from Kings Heath was sentenced to 14 years in prison after setting fire to her former husband's home and killing a woman staying there. Tina Andrews from Small Heath was sentenced to 10 years. Khatun and her husband divorced 4 weeks into her marriage, and she began a campaign of harassment against him. Police investigating allegations of football match fixing have bailed former Birmingham City striker DJ Campbell. The 32-year-old played for the club between 2006 and 2007. He was one of 5 people arrested yesterday morning. The National Crime Agency says an investigation is underway and they're working closely with the Football Association and the Gambling Commission. 10 years ago today, the UK's first pay-as-you-go motorway opened as a way of alleviating increasing congestion on the M6. The company behind the M6 toll say ever since it opened a decade ago, it's gone from strength to strength. However, critics argue it's a waste of money and of no benefit to motorists. Rajiv Popat reports.
At 10:30 this morning on the M6 toll, it's business as usual. There are no signs of celebrations. The £900 million project is exactly 10 years old. The 27-mile stretch of road was opened by the then Transport Secretary Alistair Darling to ease congestion. The M6 toll was designed to be the answer to infuriating tailbacks, to end the nightmare of sitting behind the wheel waiting for the traffic to clear. But the campaign for better transport has branded this a failure.
It's been a disaster, the M6 toll, for the drivers who are not using it and who have seen the M6 itself clog up just as badly. It's not relieved that at all. For the environment, it's destroyed a huge swathe of the countryside. Basically, no one's happy and it's a complete disaster.
A decade ago, car drivers paid £2 to use it. Today, it's £5.50.
Every year I've come on it, it's gone up again. It's a good toll road, but I think it's expensive.
We find it very useful to travel down from the north about 3 or 4 times a year, and it takes us past the Birmingham traffic.
Yeah, it's much quicker, but I've only recently tried it for about a month. So yeah, it's good.
What about the price?
Well, my company pays for it, so it doesn't make a difference.
Personally, I think that toll roads are elitist. And in fact, if we introduced it around the rest of the country, it would drive the lorries and others back through the villages and towns.
It's a great thing. It cuts about 45 minutes from my journey from London to Manchester.
Back in 2003, it was thought that if the toll worked in the Midlands, it would be copied elsewhere.
Most people would expect the government to look ahead, see how we can better use the road space we've got, and then decide the best way of providing motorists with better choice so we've got less congested roads.
But Friends of the Earth believe it was doomed from the start.
I think that the main thing is that they have not repeated this experiment anywhere else in the country. What we really need to start doing now is investing in high quality public transport alternatives across towns and cities in the West Midlands and also across the country as a whole.
In July, more than 1,000 extra lorries a day used the road during a month-long trial where charges were waived. Today, the Transport Secretary, Patrick McLaughlin, admitted the cost factor needs to be addressed.
I'd like to see more people use it. I'd like to see greater use made of the toll road, but they've got to get their pricing structure right.
Midland Expressway Limited, the company behind the toll, said it's a nonsense to suggest it benefits no one. The campaign for better transport has ignored the fact that up to 50,000 customers use the toll each day, traffic that would otherwise be adding to congestion on the M6 motorway. It added, like many other businesses in the UK, the M6 toll has been impacted by the prolonged economic downturn. Rajiv Poppert, ITV News.
Singing star Sam Bailey from Leicester is through to the final of ITV's X Factor. She sang her semi-final winning rendition of Beyoncé's If I Was a Boy, and she'll be up against Luke Friend and Nicholas McDonald in next week's sing-off at Wembley Arena. Good luck to her. Now let's get the weather forecast from Lucy.
It could be cool in Birmingham, but somewhere in the world, the sun is shining. ITV Central Weather, sponsored by Turkish Airlines.
Hello, well the weather's going to remain very settled as we head through the rest of this week with some good spells of sunshine to look forward to. Tonight, well the coolest temperatures will be in the southeast. It's going to remain fairly mild for December across the West Midlands, and we should avoid the mist and the frost overnight tonight. So temperatures dipping to around 3 or 4 degrees Celsius, staying dry everywhere with light winds and these breaks in the clouds. So good news for tomorrow, some sunny spells through the morning, but the cloud will build once again from the west as we head into the afternoon. Highs tomorrow of 9 or 10 degrees Celsius. See you later.
ITV Central Weather, sponsored by Turkish Airlines.
And that's all we've got time for tonight. As ever, you can get updates on our stories by going to the website itv.com/central. For now, though, from the late team, good night.